While David remained there, clearly torn between loyalty to his family and the confusing truth of his current situation, Camilla stepped closer, her expression calm but sharpened with purpose. "David," she said quietly, "before anything else, I need you to be honest with me. Did you come here because you were in danger, or because you were running from something?" David swallowed hard. For a moment, the confident CEO mask slipped completely, revealing the fear underneath. I don't know," he whispered. "But I think someone drugged me." Camilla's breath caught. "Drugged? At the office?" He nodded slowly. "The board meeting last night was explosive. There was talk about removing me. About taking the company in a direction I refused to agree with." His voice trembled. "I thought it was just pressure. Stress. But now, waking up here, with no memory, someone wanted me out of the way. And they brought you to my apartment." Camilla's suspicion deepened. "Why here? Why not drop you in an alley or a hotel room?" David hesitated. "Too long. Unless," she said, eyes narrowing, "you came here on your own." He looked away. That was her answer. "David," she said, folding her arms, "did you come because you thought I was an easy person to manipulate? Someone you could blame this on?" His head snapped up. No, Camilla, that's not. Because your sister already thinks that. And she's ready to destroy my life to protect the family name." David shook his head desperately. "I didn't come to use you. I came because..." He stopped, struggling for the words. "Because you're the only person in that entire building who looked at me like I was human. Not a CEO. Not a paycheck. Just a man." For a moment, silence filled the small apartment. Then Camilla exhaled slowly. "Whatever you remember, whatever you think happened, Rebecca is already building a story. And none of it ends well for me." David nodded reluctantly. "She's capable of anything to protect the company. Then we need to figure out what happened last night," Camilla said. "And why you ended up here instead of in a hospital or jail cell." David looked at her with something new in his eyes. Trust, maybe. Or desperation. Both were dangerous. "What do we do?" he asked. Camilla went to the small drawer near the door and pulled out a cheap smartphone with a cracked screen. "We start," she said, "by checking the one thing your sister didn't think about." "And what's that?" David asked, confused. Camilla smirked. Calm, calculating, and far more prepared than the Mitchell family would ever expect. "The security cameras in this neighborhood don't belong to Mitchell Corp." David blinked. "But why does that matter?" "Because, David," she said, already typing rapidly, "the universe didn't put you in my home by accident. Someone wanted me to see something. Someone wanted me involved." As the old phone loaded a slow, grainy video feed from the street outside her building, Camilla's heart started pounding. A black car stopped at 2:47 a.m. Two men got out. One of them was carrying David Mitchell, unconscious. David stared at the screen, horrified. "That's not my security team," he whispered. "No," Camilla agreed. "This is bigger. Much bigger." She tapped the screen, zooming in on the license plate. "And now, David Mitchell," she said, eyes burning with determination, "you and I are going to find out who tried to destroy you, and why they delivered you straight to me. Because what neither of them knew yet was this. Rebecca Mitchell's threat wasn't a warning. It was a declaration of war. And Camilla Santos was about to become the one opponent the Mitchell family never saw calm." The silence that followed was so thick that David could hear his own heartbeat. But Camilla didn't blink. When she finally spoke, her voice was calm, too calm. The kind of calm that made even David shiver. "Rebecca," she said softly, "thank you." The other end went quiet for a second. "Excuse me, you just confirmed everything I needed," Camilla continued. "And more importantly, you confirmed it while my phone was recording." David's eyes widened. Rebecca's voice sharpened instantly. "You recorded this conversation. That's illegal. In this state." Camilla interrupted. "No, only one party needs to consent. And guess what? I consented." A small, sharp click sounded, the sound of Rebecca sucking in her breath. Camilla's smile didn't reach her eyes. "You see, for someone who claims to be so well connected, you really should brush up on the law." "You don't know what you're doing," Rebecca hissed. "Oh, I do," Camilla replied, leaning against the counter with perfect composure. "You tried to destroy my livelihood. You tried to intimidate me. You threatened to sabotage my future opportunities. And you admitted, all on record, that you planned to spread false allegations without evidence. Camilla, David whispered urgently, fear written across his face. Please. But Camilla lifted a hand, silencing him. Rebecca, she continued, I know you're used to having people bow to you. I know you're used to being the most powerful person in the room. But the problem with power is that it makes people arrogant. Sloppy. You think this will protect you? Rebecca snapped. You think anyone will believe a recording from? Oh, I don't need them to believe me, Camilla said. I just need to give them a reason to ask questions. The board, the shareholders, the media, the government, especially if this recording is released alongside street camera footage of your brother being dragged unconscious into my building by two men who don't work for Mitchell Corp. David's jaw dropped. Rebecca didn't breathe. Camilla tilted her head. Because that looks suspicious, doesn't it? You, Rebecca stuttered. How did you get that footage? Neighborhood cameras, Camilla replied casually. Non-corporate, non-tampered. And you know what's funny? Cameras don't lie. Camilla, Rebecca said, her voice suddenly lower, colder. You're making a mistake. No, Camilla said. You made the mistake. You pushed the wrong woman. David stood up, panic and shock clashing on his face. Camilla, stop, she'll ruin everything. She already tried, Camilla replied without looking at him. Now it's my turn. She leaned closer to the phone, her voice dropping to a whisper that somehow felt like thunder. Here are your options, Rebecca. Listen carefully. Even David didn't dare breathe. 1. You stop all attempts to sabotage me. Immediately. No calls, no lies, no threats. And you reinstate my job with back pay. Quietly, respectfully. Rebecca's breathing sharpened, furious but fearful. Or, Camilla continued, her voice becoming ice. Option 2. I go public. With everything. Camilla. Rebecca began. I'm not finished. Even David blinked. I release the recording. I release the footage. And I tell the whole world the story of the entitled executive family who tried to destroy a single mother to cover up something they don't want anyone to know. Silence. Dead, terrifying silence. You can't win, Rebecca whispered. But for the first time, she sounded unsure. Camilla smiled. I don't need to win, she replied. I just need to make you lose. And with that, she hung up. The room stayed still for a full 5 seconds. Then David exhaled a shaking breath. Camilla, what have you done? He asked, voice full of fear, but beneath it, something else. Camilla picked up her daughter's photo from the fridge and traced the corner with her thumb. What I had to, she said. For her, and for every woman your family thinks they can crush. David stared at her, this woman he had once never noticed, now realizing she was someone far more dangerous, far more brilliant, and far more fearless than anyone in his world. What happens now? He whispered. Camilla looked at him, and for the first time, David saw the strategist behind the quiet cleaner. The warrior forged by years of injustice. Now, she said, her eyes cold fire, we turn the game around. And we make the Mitchell family wish they had never underestimated me.